protests against the new radical armed forces recruitment scheme introduced by the government spread to the south today, with protests turning into vandalism in many states. The government and ex-chiefs have come out strongly. Ex-chiefs have said we don't need people burning buses and trains in the armed forces. But despite protests, the government is determined to push ahead with Agnipath. In fact, the 3 service chiefs are all out giving interviews today and have said that recruitment will begin as soon as next week. But today, really, the big shocker has been the vandalism we've seen in many states, especially in Telangana. Uma now joins me live. Uma, what happened in Secunderabad? You're at the Secunderabad railway station when there's absolute mayhem, chaos and arson in the morning, and the police firing as well.
Yes, indeed. Extremely scary situation here from about 8 to 9 a.m. in the morning, and violence in fact broke out around 10 o'clock. That's when in fact the bogies started getting being lit, and right behind me what you see is in fact the Ajanta Express that was also set on fire. So for about 9 to 10 hours, all the protesters were sitting here. It started with them assembling here at about 9 a.m. and about 2,000 of them came here, and suddenly things were out of control. The security forces were very clearly outnumbered, and that's when the police decided to open fire, order fire, and one protester, a 19-year-old protester, in fact, was killed in that incident. But now things are beginning to look normal. Still the station is in fact eerily silent, I must say, but you can see the train movements, at least the engines begin to move. At least 75 trains were otherwise cancelled, but if you pan there, you will see on that bridge also people beginning to actually come into the station, because till now the visuals that they had been seeing on social media and on other regular television channels have been extremely scary, and people have been actually taken by shock and asking questions about how this could happen in the middle of the city, and how things were allowed to actually slip into this kind of a situation. We bring you a report from what happened through the day and what led to this kind of mayhem, in fact, at Secunderabad station, something that has shocked not just the city residents but the country as well.
By 9 a.m., an estimated 2,000 protesters had gathered at Secunderabad railway station, apparently mobilized through messages on social media, and attacked 3 passenger trains, burning down bogies, breaking property inside and outside on the platform. We are inside the AC coach of Shalimar Express. There were passengers inside. There was an attempt to break all the glasses and also set fire to this. People left their suitcases, all their saman inside, and in fact ran out. Thankfully, none of the passengers were harmed.
फेंकने लगे, आग लगाना चालू कर दिया। मुंह ढक करके नकाब पहन करके सब ये सब कर रहे थे। किसी का तो फोटो हमने नहीं ले पाया, हम तो पैसेंजर को बचाएंगे, फोटो ले मैम। उसके बाद ये देख रहे हैं आप, तेल का टैंकी सामने दिखाई पड़ रहा है। ये तेल ऐसा चीज है कि इसमें आग लग जाएगा पूरे गाड़ी में, ये देखिए ना।
To bring the situation under control, the security forces, who were clearly outnumbered, opened fire. 19-year-old Rajesh was killed. More than a dozen were injured. The protesters were still not deterred and continued sitting on the tracks. They said they were frustrated that in the last 2 years, exams were postponed 11 times and refused to move till exams were announced.
क्या कर सकते हैं मैडम, लास्ट टू जान भी ना हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है अब देने के लिए। आप दांतों पर कुछ लगा चुके हैं, हमारी जान भी 11 बार जब डेट गया तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं, अभी बोलिए।
At least 75 trains, including 65 MMTS trains, were cancelled. Several others were diverted.
इतना तंग किया, हल्ला किया तो बहुत डर लग रहा है, तो अभी ट्रेन भी नहीं मिल रहा है। जाना जरूरी था बहुत, अभी तो ट्रेन नहीं मिल रहा है।
We are inside the completely burnt bogie of Ajanta Express. Eyewitnesses tell us that those who attacked were carrying inflammable material, possibly chemicals. How that escaped the eyes of intelligence agencies, that such big numbers came in armed with this kind of material, is something that needs answers. At Secunderabad railway station with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.